All right, so let's start with the analysis of agriculture exemption. This will give you more ideas, more clarification about exemption notification that we have already discussed so far as agriculture activities are concerned. The word services relating to a cultivation of plant and rearing of all life form of animals, except the rearing of horses for food, for fiber, for fuel, or raw material or other similar product used in entry number 54 includes, so it gives them more clarity. It includes what? It includes activities like breeding of fish, so that is known as pisciculture, rearing of silkworm, sericulture, cultivation of ornamental flowers, floriculture, and horticulture and forestry, etc. Horticulture means putting plants, big trees, okay, mango tree and then cashew trees, that is known as horticulture. And forestry, this kind of activities it includes in entry number 54. Just more idea it is giving to you. Further, the term agriculture produce means any produce out of cultivation of plants or rearing of all life form of animals, except the rearing of horses for food, fiber, fuel, raw material, or other similar product, on which either no further processing is done or such processing is done as is usually done by cultivator or producer, which do not alter, this is very important, which do not alter its essential characteristics but make it more marketable for primary market. So you are allowed to conduct certain processes on your product. Maybe mangoes, if you take directly from tree, it is green. So we have to put some, powder or some kind of uh, covering on that particular mango so that it can be properly ripened mangoes and it will, give you a good price in the market. But do not do extra process which will change the essential characteristics of product itself. So apple before processing and after processing should remain apple. Mango before processing mango, after processing should remain mango. It should not change the basic characteristics. This is what it says. It is important to note that agriculture produce is either subject to no further processing at all, or if any processing is undertaken on the agriculture produce, it should not alter its essential characteristic but make it more marketable for primary market. You can see some processes are getting carried out here in images. Few instances of such process are processes carried out at agriculture farm, including tending, pruning, cutting, harvesting, drying, cleaning, trimming, etc. Okay, let's see what is exempt under entry number 54. So they are trying to say, give the more ideologies about this. Entry 54 exempts agriculture operations directly related to production of any agriculture produce such as the cultivation, harvesting, threshing, plant protection, testing, further processing. Further processing is carried out at agriculture farm, including tending, pruning, cutting, harvesting, drying, cleaning, trimming, sun drying, fumigating, curing, sorting, grading, cooling, or bulk packaging, and such like operation which do not alter essential characteristics of agriculture produce, but make it only marketable for primary market are also exempt. See, the same thing they are writing, because here the plain text of law and explanation looks exactly similar. Here, bare act is equal to explanation. Why? Because bare act itself has very much clarity about what is exempt and what is not. Therefore, you can feel the content is getting repeated. I'm reading it so that it should fix in your brain for permanently. Okay, these are the wordings that I have to keep in mind, which is exempt so far as agriculture activities are concerned. Okay. Next. In view of same, following processes are outside the purview of entry and thus liable to GST. So, okay, sir, we understood these are activities which are exempt. But is there any activity which can be taxable and which can be asked in examination? Yes. So they are giving you few examples of those things. Processes which alter the essential characteristics of the agriculture produce. This I have already told you. For instance, potato chips you make out of potato, so that making potato chips will become taxable. Tomato ketchup out of tomato will be taxable. manufactured through processes which alter the essential characteristics of a farm produce, therefore it will remain taxable. Next, processes which makes agriculture produce marketable in retail market. Processes of grinding, sterilizing, extraction, packaging in retail packs of agriculture produce which make agriculture produce marketable in retail market, which would not be covered in this entry. Only such processes are covered in this entry which makes agriculture produce for a primary market. If you are directly supplying, you are packing in a small sachet. It's like you are making a packet of 6 tomatoes or half kg or 1 kg onions, and that you are selling in the retail market like Big Bazaar, or directly you are selling in the retail market. So what they are saying, no, we are giving you exemption not for the primary market, we are giving you exemption for primary market, not for the retail market. This is what they are highlighting here. So if you directly sell product in a retail market, then it may become taxable, but believe me, there may be another exemption which will cover agriculture produce in goods. Here we are talking about services which are, or activities which are directly or indirectly carried on agriculture produce. Apart from this, supply of farm label is also exempt. Okay, that is also we know. Renting of agro machinery and vacant land is also exempt. That is also we know. Let's look at one example which is given by institute. Mulchand has a lease out to a farmer, Tulsidas, a vacant land. Now Mulchand stays in Mumbai or some kind of cities, and he is having some land at village that he has given on hire to Tulsidas for agriculture. This is good for agriculture. This is very important. Purpose should be agriculture. The land has a greenhouse and a storage shed which are incidental to it, used for agriculture purpose. So it has agriculture house, farmhouse. That's fine. It may be there, it may not be there. Leasing of vacant land with a greenhouse, or greenhouse means that white. Actually greenhouse doesn't look green. Okay, greenhouse looks like white covered area which protects sunlight for these plants. The plants which are kept in greenhouse cannot kept open. It has to be protected from outer environment. Therefore they put white color shade. It's kind of pandal, or you can say a big size of tambu, where they put this kind of sensitive plants which cannot be directly exposed to sunlight. So that is greenhouse. And storage shed means normal farmhouse where we keep your equipments and all. Okay, is incidental to use for agriculture produce is exempt. So obviously it is exempt from tax. House as well as greenhouse as well as farmhouse, all the activities will be exempt. Next, agriculture extension service. So what do you mean by agriculture extension service? Said services have been defined under notification to mean application of scientific research knowledge to agriculture practices through farmer education or farmer training. This is what I have told you. The main objective of agriculture extension service is to transmit the latest technical know-how to the farmers, and this is what I am going to do in future. As you know, I am also going to become a farmer. This is my one of the passion, and I wanted to die as a farmer. Though I am a chartered accountant by profession, but who says CA cannot enter into an agriculture activity? And I'm going to become agriculture extension service provider, and therefore I have already shifted my base from Mumbai to my native place. Now I'm getting settled in rural area. So this is a purpose, basic purpose, that in future we are going to be engaged in agriculture extension service. Why? Two reasons. One thing, for mental satisfaction that I'm doing something for farmers. Secondly, these services are exempt. So because they are exempt from tax, I get encouragement. Okay, I don't have to pay tax on these activities. And in income tax also, in PGDP chapter, we are having some extra deduction for entities who are engaged into agriculture extension service. So overall, it is good for all. It also focuses on enhancing farmers' knowledge about the crop technique, help them to increase the productivity. This is done through training courses like Kisan Call Center, Farm Visit, Farm Trials, Kisan Meals, Kisan Melas, Kisan Clubs, Advisory Bulletin, and the like. So these are the activities that are exempt under agriculture extension services. Okay. Agriculture Produce Marketing Committees, I have already told you the role of Agriculture Marketing Committee. It's a common platform where bulk buyer, major buyers, okay, and the farmers come together to exchange the commodity. Okay, services by An agriculture produce marketing committee or board or service provided by commission agent for sale of purchase of agriculture produce are not liable for GST. Okay, not liable for GST. Agriculture produce marketing committee or board means any committee or board set up under the state law for timing in force for the purpose of regulating the marketing of agriculture produce. Okay, and current government in challenging that you don't have to regulate agriculture products. You open it to the retail market. Farmers should directly enter into retail market. The debate is already going on. New farm bill. Okay. Such marketing committee or board have been set up in most of the state and provide a variety of support services for facilitating the marketing of agriculture produce. Look at this. For facilitating marketing of agriculture produce by provision of facility and amenities like shades, water, light, electricity, grading facilities, etc. So farmer can bring their trucks there, they can load their trucks and they can grade them, pack them in small container or baskets, and then they can sell it. They also take measures for prevention of sale and or purchase of agriculture produce below the minimum support price. So they ensure that farmers should get bare minimum support price at least. APMC collect market fees, license fees, rents, etc. in exchange of the services, and that rent, market fees, and the license fees will remain exempt. Services provided by such agriculture producing marketing committee or board covered in item number G of entry 54. However, any service provided by such bodies which do not directly related to cultivation of plant or rearing of all life forms of animal except rearing of horses for food, fiber, fuel, raw material or other similar product will be liable to tax. Example, renting of shops and other property. So please understand, if you are doing it for farmers, then only it is exempt. If you are putting some canteen there, some restaurant there, some shop there, that will remain taxable. Warehousing of agriculture produce. Yes, warehousing is one of the essential services which has to be provided by private entity to farmers, because farmer cannot develop warehousing facilities. It has to be developed by private entities, and we are encouraging them to come into this particular business by providing full exemption on their services. Entry exempt loading, unloading, packing, storage, warehousing of agriculture produce. In this regard, following may be noted. Okay, processed tea and coffee. Tea used for making the beverages, okay, such as black tea, green tea, white tea, is a processed product, maybe in tea factories after carrying on several processes such as drying, rolling, shaping, refining, oxidization, packaging, etc. on green leaf is process output of the same. So what they are trying to say, green leaf is the agriculture output, but tea powder that we use to make tea should be taxable because that's a commercial activity. Thus, green tea leaves and not tea is agriculture produce, eligible for exemption, available for loading, unloading, packaging, storage and warehousing of agriculture produce. The same in the case with coffee obtained after processing the coffee bean. So coffee beans will be exempt, tea leaves will be exempt, but tea and coffee that we consume should remain taxable because it changed its essential characteristics after processing, and therefore tea and coffee are taxable. But it's not in the case of rice. Rice is separately exempt, that you should know. Jaggery. Similarly, processing of sugarcane into jaggery changes the essential characteristics, and the jaggery is not agriculture produce, therefore it should remain taxable. Pulses. Pulses are commonly known as a dal, okay, urad dal and tur dal, masoor dal, so we call it dal. Okay, pulses are commonly known as the dal, are obtained after making dehusking or splitting of or both. So it either remove the covers and then split the whole seed into two. So this is how they do it. The process of dehusking or splitting is usually not carried out by farmers. Obviously, farmer cannot do because it requires heavy machineries, okay, or at the farm level, but by the pulse millers. So there will be big size mills, big size factories. Therefore, pulses, dehusk or split are also not agriculture produce. However, whole pulse grain such as whole gram, rajma, or etc. covered in agriculture produce. So the product that we eat directly, okay. So sometimes we directly take chana from market, and this rajma or whole gram. So all those will be covered under agriculture produce, and therefore the loading, unloading, packaging and warehousing will also exempt. But dal, which is like urad dal and tur dal that we consume regularly, it should remain taxable because it's not an agricultural produce, it is produced in factories. Next, in view of above, it is infer that processed products such as the tea, processed coffee beans, powder, pulses, jaggery, processed spices, processed dry fruits, processed cashew nuts fall outside the definition of agriculture produce. Therefore, exemption from GST is not available to their loading, packaging and warehousing. Okay, sir, we know that. Custom milling of paddy into rice. Paddy into rice means, you are making a commercial product out of agriculture product. Carrying out intermediate production process as a job of in relation to cultivation of plant, rearing of all life form of animals, except rearing of horses for food, fiber, fuel, raw material or other similar product are exempt under GST. Milling of paddy is not intermediate production process in relation to cultivation of plant. It is process carried out after the process of cultivation is over and paddy has been harvested. Okay. So from farm you get paddy. You can see here paddy. They have given one photo of paddy. This is brown color photo of paddy. And this is rice. First process. And then this is rice powder. Okay. So they have given three images, and this is a machine. What do you say? In Mumbai we call it chakki. Okay. Milling of paddy is not intermediate production process in relation to cultivation of plant. Okay, cultivation of plant is not there. It is a process carried out after the process of cultivation is over and paddy has been harvested. Further processing of paddy into rice is not usually carried out by cultivator but by the rice millers. Milling of paddy into rice also changes the essential. Therefore, the milling of paddy into rice cannot be considered as intermediate production process in relation to cultivation of plant for food, fiber or similar product of agriculture produce. In view above, it is clarified that milling of paddy into rice is not eligible for exemption under entry number 55. That's fine. Entry number 55 is not giving the exemption. So these are the activities that we have discussed about entry number 55 and 54. Important agriculture activities which are exempt here. Now we might have some questions, but not here. They have not given any question directly in agriculture related activity. It might be there in CMA module. So let me check once. So we are discussing some question from CMA module which is given on page number 131. Example 176. Okay. Find taxability for the following independent cases. So you just have to tell us whether the services are taxable or exempt. Packaging of pulses into retail packs. Come on, tell me. You guys please reply. Packaging of pulses in retail packs. Retail, not primary market. Retail. And that to pulses. Taxable or exempt. T or U. E. You have to use these two words. T means taxable. E means exempt. Come on, tell me. Amol is saying T, Pranal saying T. Okay. Gaurang is also saying T, taxable. Yes, this is taxable. No doubt in this, it is taxable. Packaging of tomato ketchup. Tomato ketchup. Come on, tell me. Taxable or not taxable? Packaging of tomato ketchup. This is also taxable service. Okay. Commission on sale of rice. Rice. It's not paddy, it's rice. Commission on sale of rice. Loading, unloading, packaging, warehousing of rice was exempt. Not commission sale. Come on, tell me, is it taxable or exempt? T or E? This is also taxable. Right answer. Storage of rice flour in warehouse. Rice flour, rice ka atta. Okay. Come on, tell me, taxable or exempt? This is also taxable because all these activities have changed essential characteristics of agriculture produce, and therefore any activity done in relation to these items will remain taxable. So look at this answer: taxable supply of service, taxable supply of service, and taxable supply of service. Okay, same thing. We'll continue. The Resident Welfare Association. No, this is not a right example here. Don't tell me they have given only one example. Okay, next illustration is on page number example 197, which is given under entry number 54, and that is given on page number 152. So please guys come to page number 152 and please answer this question. Mark Agro Products Limited furnishes the following details of various services provided by it in the month of Jan 20. Okay. Rearing of silkworm and horticulture. Come on, tell me, taxable or not taxable? Rearing of silkworm and horticulture. This is what I have told you from explanation given by institute. This should remain taxable. Is it agriculture or not? Silkworm and horticulture, taxable or exempt? The exemption says rearing of all life forms of animal except rearing of horses. Yes, right answer. This is exempt. Okay. Planting of tea, plantation of tea and coffee, not processing tea. Plantation happens at farm. So what do you say? Taxable or exempt? So this is also exempt. Plantation of tea is agriculture activity. Renting of vacant land for performance of marriage ceremony. Okay, you have given land for marriage ceremony. Come on, tell me. Marriage. No, it's not agriculture activity, so it should remain taxable. Sale of wheat on commission basis. Sale of wheat on commission. Now, wheat is agriculture produce, and sale of wheat should remain. Come on, tell me. Sale of wheat should remain. There was an activity, no, APMC. Do you remember? Services provided by APMC or commission agent for sale of agriculture produce. Do you remember that? Come on, tell me, taxable or exempt? Taxable or exempt? This should be taxable. Why taxable? Because wheat and rice are final product. It is getting manufactured in factory. It's not agriculture produce. Just now we have heard that last illustration, last explanation, and here module also, this explanation is given in this part. Converting paddy into rice is not a agriculture activity, and rice is definitely not agriculture produce. Similarly with wheat, and therefore this too will become taxable. The taxable value, the rate of tax will be 18%. You have to compute GST amount. So rearing of silkworm and horticulture should remain exempt. Plantation of tea and coffee should remain exempt. Renting of vacant land for marriage ceremony is a taxable, therefore they have considered the value. The wheat on commission basis is a taxable. Wheat they have exempted. And rice is a taxable. Wheat they have exempted. Wheat, I guess they have considered is an agriculture produce, because I believe wheat is directly sold. Okay, wheat is directly sold because they don't process wheat like factory. In factory, please understand here. Let me read this whole process here. Something is written that might be relevant for this. Cleaning of wheat carried out outside the farm covered under exemption. Okay, they are giving this explanation. Cleaning of wheat carried out outside the farm covered under exemption, hence no GST. That's okay. And shelling of paddy carried out outside the farm not covered under entry number 54 and 55. Okay, so this explanation clarifies it. It's given by CBDT. So it's okay. We have to consider the explanation given by CBDT. They are considering wheat as agriculture produce, but they are considering rice as a commercial produce, which is clarified in this circular. So if you follow the circular, you will get the idea. Okay, wheat is exempt because wheat remains an agriculture produce, and rice is taxable because rice is a commercial produce. So this point you should keep in mind. That explanation is there. By default, my original answer was it was taxable, but I was wrong. Wheat is exempt and rice is taxable. So the total value of taxable supply is 6,50,000. And if you apply 18% rate, we don't know whether it is CGST or HGST. So we have directly applied GST at the rate of 18%, which will come to 1,17,000. This is how we have to compute. Next. Next question. Renting of agro machinery. Come on, tell me. 198. Renting of agro machinery. Taxable or exempt? Please respond. Last 3-4 minutes of lecture. Please respond. It should remain exempt. Renting of agro machinery is exempt, isn't it? Yeah. Cultivation of ornamental flowers. The explanation was there in our module. Exempt or taxable? Floriculture. Ornamental flowers. Rose, lotus, whatever it is. Exempt. Processing of tomato ketchup under the brand name Y Limited. Tomato ketchup. Taxable or exempt? Obviously taxable because ketchup is not an agriculture produce. Plantation of rubber, plantation, no, it's agriculture, plantation of rubber. Rubber means rubber tree, plantation of rubber tree. It's not manufacturing rubber, it's a plantation. Rubber has plant, it's a tree, taxable or exempt. It's like plantation of tea, plantation of coffee, plantation is always exempt, please remember. Processing of potato chips on job work basis, come on tell me, taxable or exempt? Taxable. And assume applicable rate CGST 2.5, AGST 2.5, we have to compute the value. Agro exempt, ornamental flowers exempt, processing of tomato ketchup taxable, rubber, plantation of rubber exempt, processing of potato chips on job work basis taxable. So total taxable value shall be 3.5 plus 1.5 is equal to 4.5. On that 2.5, you just have to apply the rate, then you will get GST amounts. So this is how they have considered here. One or two more questions are there on agriculture that we will discuss in next lecture. Not much, everything is covered. Only one amendment was left from my side, which is written in my this handwritten notes. There is one amendment about agriculture activity. They have inserted one new entry, 24B, services by way of storage and warehousing of. Okay, so they have newly inserted this entry which was not there earlier. Therefore, please consider this new entry while studying. Okay. Storage and warehousing of sealer, pulses, fruits, nuts, vegetables, spices, copra, sugarcane, jaggery, raw vegetables, fibers such as cotton, wax, flax, jute, etc., indigo, unmanufactured tobacco, betel leaves, tendu leaves, coffee, and tea shall remain exempt. Only warehousing and storage. Only warehousing and storage shall remain exempt. See you in the next lecture. My time is about to done. If you are having any queries, please revise first of all. And if you are having queries, please ask me in next lecture. Start revising GST from basic because majority of you might have lost hold on GST in last few days. Chalo, tata, bye-bye. Take care. And make these notes. ये notes लिखना जरूरी है. ठीक है? नोट्स लिखना जरूरी है. नोट्स लिखना चालू करो. इसका सॉफ्ट कॉपी आपके पास ऑलरेडी होगा. बाय बाय.